All hail a beard, it's your boy Big Beard B, and we back for another edition of Big Beard Business. If you're planning on picking up your first fragrance or adding a new fragrance to your collection, the selection process can be a bit nerve-wracking. If you are watching this video, chances are you already know what fragrance house you're going for or what fragrance you are actually deciding to go for, but you're having a little bit of trouble pulling the trigger. So today I'm going to tell you to forget what you want and provide you with 3 fragrances to avoid at all costs. But before we do that and before we hop into this, make sure you hit that like button and subscribe if you haven't already done so. And if you're returning, what up, my G? Now, I get it. Having a package arrive in the mail is one of the most enjoyable experiences out there. You're gonna get this blast of dopamine because the package you were waiting for has finally arrived. Whether it's a fragrance or anything else, you've been sitting at your door like a sad little puppy dog waiting for it to come, and it is finally here. However, upon opening the box, you realize you've been had. That's why you should avoid this first fragrance at all costs, which is fragrances from an unreliable source. You'd be surprised how often this stuff happens. I often get messages from people like, yo, Big Beard B, insert jankyfragrancecompany.com here sent me some bad product and I don't think it's real. Often they get caught up in the lure of saving some money on something that they realize probably is too good to be true, but they throw all caution to the wind and decided to go ahead and give it a try. And oftentimes, more likely than not, it is the wrong choice. So have patience, save a bit more, and buy direct from the source or directly from a trusted website, man, because there are a lot of them out there, but oftentimes there are a lot of fragrance companies out there who are looking to scam you, and I don't want you to get scammed. The worst thing you can do is spending your money on a fragrance that you've been dying to get and spend the entire time wondering if the fragrance you purchased was legit. If you've ever purchased a fragrance before, then you likely are aware that buying fragrances isn't cheap. And if you are looking to dive into this as a hobby of fragrance collecting, then you will definitely know this is not cheap. So the next thing I'm going to tell you to do is to avoid fragrances for other people. Let's be clear here. I'm not saying that you should not gift a fragrance to someone. Gift as many fragrances as your heart desires and that you can afford. No, what I'm telling you to do is to avoid fragrances for other people that come by way of meeting someone's expectations. Purchasing a fragrance because they think you should have it within your collection. Instead, more so what I would tell you to do is purchase fragrances that align with your fragrance wearing objectives. If your objective is to get compliments, then wear that fragrance. However, if the fragrance garners compliments and you are not a fan of it, then I'm going to tell you to avoid it. It is that simple. If you don't already take these steps, I would urge you to do so, because not only will it help you in your fragrance journey by making it a much more pleasurable and enjoyable experience, it will also help you save a little bit of coin, which will go a long way. Now, this next fragrance you should avoid is very similar to what we just mentioned, but it's essential in your fragrance buying experience and in your journey. It's really simple. You should avoid fragrances you can't afford. Drake said it best: if you ain't got it, you ain't got it. The theory is brilliant. Look, I know what you're thinking. Big Beard B, easier said than done, right? Listen, I tell people all the time to never, ever, ever overextend yourself paying for a fragrance. Trust me, it's not that serious. Personally, I set a monthly budget for purchasing fragrances, and if the fragrances that I want in said month exceed the budget, then I scale it back. Listen, I recently said in a video that the best way to go through financial freedom is to have a budget. You're like, yo, B, how can I be financially free with a budget? Well, I used to think the B word was a bad word, but it's really not at all. All right, that makes sure that you can spend what you want when you want to, okay? Because you know where the money is going to go. So what I tell you to do is, again, avoid fragrances that you cannot purchase, right? Another thing I tell people to do or not to do is to not purchase fragrances on credit cards. Here's the thing. I know what you think. Yo, Big Baby, I'm gonna pay it right off. Guaranteed. Listen, man, the fact is most people are not going to pay their credit card off immediately. In fact, that's not how it works at all, which is why credit card companies are so profitable. I'm not saying it's a bad model. Listen, do what you got to do, all right? What I'm telling you is to never, ever, if you can avoid it, purchase your fragrance on a credit card, all right? Unless you're going to buy it and immediately right then at that time, go ahead and do it. Some people use the argument, yo, Big B, What about points and awards and things like that? Listen, here's the thing, right? The reality of it is most of you, and I'm not talking to you because I know you're smart and you're gonna go ahead and pay for it right now, but most of the other people out there are going to purchase this fragrance, forget about it, and when the bill comes in, they'll pay it off at that point, if they're gonna pay it off. However, most companies have minimum finance charges and you're going to pay over what you needed to pay for the fragrance anyway. You can't buy it in cash or can't buy it off your debit card. I would urge you not to do it. That's just my tips and tricks. I hope that you found this information in this video informative in some way or another and may help you. Like, you know what? I want that fragrance, but I gotta wait till next month to do it. Then wait till next month, man. You probably got enough fragrances in your collection right now for you to wear fragrances for the rest of your life, all right? Because I know that I do. So there you have it. Those are 3 fragrances that you should avoid. Am I missing any? Comment down below. I would love to know. Let's make this a forum. Share this video with anyone out there who you feel will benefit from this information. As always, I'm your boy, Big B. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Tell a friend that we are back again. And you already know what I need you to do. Hit the goddamn bell.